So today I'm going to be doing a video on the best lures for beginners to use. So I'm going to be going over top water, mid water, and bottom. So first we're going to do top water. These are some of the best top waters to use. I'll give you some reasons on why and on what conditions to use them in. So the normal popper. So the popper is good for pretty much any condition where you see them jumping at the top of the water. If you see them jumping at the top of the water with this, anytime they come up at the top of the water, just throw it, try to throw it pretty much as close as you can to them, and usually they'll just jump on it. So that's that really easy lure to use. So what you want to do is you just want to pop it across the top of the water, just like a frog or something like that. It's just really easy lure to use, and I would really recommend it. Probably my favorite top water, honestly. It's really good. Next top water, we're gonna go with the Whopper Plopper, mainly because it's just really easy to use. All you have to do is reel it across the top of the water. So this tail will just start spinning and create a noise that they really love. But sometimes this lure is not the best for ponds, since if it's a high pressured pond, they might be a little scared of it. So that's a point where you probably should throw the popper instead of the Whopper Plopper. So still a very good lure. If it seems like there's not a lot of people that bass fish there, or not a ton, then this is probably a really good lure for your pond. I would really recommend it. So next, top water, one more top water. I'm gonna put this as a I wouldn't recommend it, but if there's a lot of moss and stuff like that on the top of the water at your pond, like lily pads, stuff like that, this is definitely a go-to lure for you. It would honestly replace the popper. So if you have a lot of moss on top of your pond or stuff like that, get the frog instead of like a popper or something that has like a lot of hooks like that. See right here, completely weedless. This is the Guggen poppin' frog. I would suggest a poppin' frog because it just replaces those. If you get a walking frog, sometimes they'll miss it since it's always moving. So yeah, make sure you use this pretty much exactly like the popper. Same thing pretty much, yeah. So very good lure. But yeah, those are the times to use them and stuff like that. So next is a spinnerbait. So I only have one for the mid-water, since there's not a ton that's really easy to use like this lure. So this lure, what you want to do is you want to just reel it across the middle of the water and kind of move the tip of your rod up every once in a while to get the action where it goes up, it stops, like a bait fish that's dying or something like that. So very good. Yeah. So when you want to throw these is probably when it's windy or something like that. You could probably throw it any time, but those are the best times to throw them, when it's really windy. If you see it's really windy one day, definitely use this. It will most likely get eaten up. So yeah, very, very good lure, especially you really want to get a good spinnerbait. Otherwise, if you get one that's got too big of a blade or something like that, it just won't have the action that it needs. So yeah, something like this one, or I would suggest probably a Booyah spinnerbait, something like that, or like, I'm trying to think of another good brand that'd be good. Probably like a Guggen Squad, those are always good. Sorry for my ducks, by the way, they're in the background. Yeah, but I would definitely suggest a Booyah brand or something like that. Definitely don't get the Walmart brand. They're in like the $1 buckets. Those are really bad. They usually just rust, so that's probably, yeah. Alright, next is your soft plastics and your bottom. For the bottom of the water, most of the time you just want to use soft plastics. So if you're fishing a darker pond, you can't really see it well, but that is a black and blue Senko. So you really want to go with a Senko. You can never go wrong with a Senko. You really can't. So in the summer, when they want more finesse, what you want to do is you want to cut it down, not to half, but maybe a little bit less than half, or a little bit more than half, because then it's a smaller presentation. And especially if you're in a pond, a lot of people fishing there, the bass are usually really scared there. They want a smaller presentation, something like that, very small presentation. Something also like this. Craws are really good if you're fishing rocks and stuff like that, because they'll really want to go and eat those up, because that's where they usually live by. So those are really good lures for that. Now back to this guy. So this guy is 100% my go-to lure. When the bass are tough, this is what you want to throw. So pretty much any time where the sun's out and you can't get any bites, or you can't get any bites in the morning. Yeah, but if you cut it in down to like right here, so you cut about that off, then I like to actually call it the Texas Ned, because it's kind of a cross between the Texas rig and the Ned rig, and that's why, or that's how they just get eaten up a ton, because they really fall well. I would really never suggest rigging one of these up like a wacky rig unless there's like unless there's not a lot of like weeds and stuff like that, because then it would probably do really well. But this is a weedless. You want to rig this up weedless usually, Texas rig. So, and then these guys, same thing. You just want to Texas rig these. Move them across the bottom of the water. Pop them every once in a while. So yeah, that's what you do with that one. Same thing with this guy, just a mini craw. Really good. The reason why I wouldn't suggest something like a jig on the bottom of the water for beginners is jigs are not exactly the easiest to use. They take a lot of just getting to learn how to use them, and that's not exactly hard to do. Like, I've been trying to fish jigs for a while, and I'm still not good with them. Yeah, so craw, different type of craw, a weightless Senko, spinnerbait, frog, whopper plopper, and a normal popper. That's what I would suggest are my go-to lures for each category, especially for beginners. These are really good. Now, if I wasn't a beginner, that mid-water would probably be replaced with a chatterbait. But yeah. So I think that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you for watching.